Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for February 28, 2021, the BP pulls out edition. This story comes to us from the Washington Post, as BP said it will exit its $14 billion stake in the Russian oil giant's JV, or rather investment, over Moscow's invasion of the Ukraine. It's with the Russian oil giant Rosneft, and it shows just how serious the sanctions are going to be, and that Western companies have to be ready to respond. And in the case of BP, they've made the decision they're going to pull out. Obviously, BP got to produce Rosneft's oil, but Rosneft used BP to garner technical advice and intellectual property as well. Next up, also from the Wall Street Journal, Stericycle has said it's agreed to pay $81 million and hire a monitor to resolve FCPA allegations with the Securities and Exchange Commission. The company says there's a deal in place, although we've had no official word from the SEC on this. It's not clear when the investigations began, but in June 2017, the company disclosed to investors it had received subpoenas from the SEC related to its compliance with FCPA operations in Latin America. The company conducted an internal investigation and cooperated with the DOJ and SEC. Stericycle disclosed the agreement in principle in its financial results released on Thursday. So, more FCPA cases coming. In another interesting Russia-related matter, Russia's Lukoil has completed a purchase of an offshore project in Mexico. So that means Lukoil will have property offshore Mexico and the Gulf of Mexico. It's not clear what, if any, Mexico's position on the Russian invasion of Ukraine is, or whether Mexico itself will level any sanctions or void this agreement. But it really shows how you have to understand who you're doing business with, because if you've got a contract with Pemex to do work on this project, and now Lukoil is a 50% owner, you may be in violation of U.S. sanctions. So if you need some more of my thoughts on what you need to be doing, check out my blog post today. And our final story comes to us from the Wall Street Journal about what CEOs are saying, that there's a heightened cyber attack sensitivity but after the Russian invasion. Obviously, they have not yet began to attack U.S. or EU companies, but I'm sure as the fighting escalates that the Russian government will also escalate its attacks on the West. So you need to think about that and have your company ready, because I would expect a large number of denial of service or other attacks to literally bring down all of a Western company's IT. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.